Yes, it is I, says me. And they're only three because they're weak. What's happening, y'all? We back all up in here for another edition of the Iceman Show. Excuse me, not the Iceman. Facts Over Feelings podcast. And we up in here. Hopefully you will join us. Invite a friend, co-worker, loved one to join us, because it's about to get real in the field. Can you dig it? Hope that you all have had a safe and prosperous weekend. Hope you were able to do everything that you wanted to do. And now you're kicking it here with the Iceman, aka the MoorishOG. Can you dig it? So we're gonna give it a couple of seconds. We're gonna give it a couple of minutes for folks to get in the house so we can get started. I got to go take care of something real quick. It's gonna take me about 1 minute to do that. So just hang on, and I'll be right back.
On to the count. He delivers. In the dirt. That's played by Colorado. The biggest thing the Astros have about their lineup is who hits second. It's kicking hardly watch, man. Motions are overwhelming them. Jeremy Pena with 2 outs in the ninth. And the 1-2 pitch. And a swing and a line drive up the middle base hit. Pena delivers. A 2-out single up the middle. And the Astros have 2 on with 2 away. And their big thumper coming up. Yeah, I'm interested to see this decision now. You got starter down the warm up in the 10 lefty. The BA, he's doing it. He is bringing in Robbie Ray. Little slider. Yep. And again, just too much of the plate. Then he smokes it up the middle. Well, and he did. He just went to the 10. Wow. Scott Service. And Robbie Ray getting ready.
Scott,
Join on Alvarez. And that moment has arrived. Seawald will exit. Cannot finish it off. 2 runners out there, his responsibility.
T-Mobile keeps you in the game whether you're down here or up here. Because T-Mobile lets you stay with free Wi-Fi all flight long. And you're connected to the playoffs or receive high-speed data on us. T-Mobile, coverage beyond the expected.
Buffalo Wild Wings has deals on deals on deals. Like buy one, get one half off Wing Tuesdays, buy one, get one free boneless Thursdays, and Wing Bundle from $9.99. Order now at BuffaloWildWings.com.
Do you want to be on the side of good or people?
When you share a sense of humor with someone, you make each other better.
New York existence is a form of activism.
Adventures.
It's about go on.
At some point, you have to make a choice about who you are and what you want.
Let's show. We're gonna do something different.
Well, the postseason can set up some very odd routines. And Scott Service is calling on Robbie Ray, the reigning American League Cy Young Award winner, struggled in his start against the Blue Jays. He is on to face Jordan Alvarez. Just 4 career relief appearances. And none in the last 3 years. His last one was back in 2020, had 3 in 2014, and what a time to bring on Robbie Ray.
I mean, you got your closer out there, and he goes and gets the lefty. He's never had a save in his career. Give me a couple interesting things. Alvarez versus lefties hit 321. So the moment, the matchup as far as that goes isn't bad. Where Robbie Ray does have about 212 strikeouts in the PBA, and I think that's what he's going for right here. He's got the ability with that fastball and slider going away with a dangerous hitter with Alvarez at the plate. Wow, what a managerial move this is right here. Seawall had David Hensley in a 2-strike count. It was 3-2 when he hit it. He had Jeremy Payne in a 1-2 count and a 3-swinger. He struggled against the breaking ball and left the slider up there. And a 2-out, 2-strike single by Jeremy Pena has set the stage here for Jordan Alvarez, one of the most feared hitters in the game. Well, it's funny because a lot of times you can tell yourself, not to see that, you know, go the other way. But here you got that short person like this. So at the same time, if you're going to get it off the plate, it's got to be off the plate.
Big moment. Here we go. Myers in second base in big trouble. Playing the runner first the time left. Alvarez, a mighty left shot. He fouls it back. First pitch fastball from Robbie Ray.
Big Robbie Ray, he's been around a long time. So there might be some nerve.
All right. Let's go ahead and get this thing cracking. Okay. Welcome to the Facts Over Feelings podcast. I am your host, the Iceman. More bounce to the ounce, and I say what counts. Don't nobody go home till the fat man gets it in. What's happening, chocolate people? Let's go ahead and get into this because I'm not going to be here all night. Wow, that is retarded. So, if you guys haven't noticed, hold on now. Let me let folks on the gram know what's cracking. What's cracking? What's cracking, y'all? Facts Over Feeling podcast. I'm your host, the MoorishOG. We are online right now. We are the live stream has commenced, and we are online. So come join us on the MadVooDooMan channel on YouTube. Invite a friend, coworker, or loved one to come join us. And by the way, share the link of the video with your loved one, coworkers, and family. Also, subscribe and hit the notification button so you can get notified of our podcast. Can you dig it? Come join us. Thank you. Okay, hold on, y'all. Okay, hold on, y'all. Okay, hold on, man. Something ain't right here. What? Man, let me hold on, y'all, man. Let me post this thing on that's so fucked up. That's funny, man. That is so funny. That is funny as hell. How y'all gonna hang a sign over a highway sign like that, man? That don't even make no sense. Okay. What up, yo? All right, check this out. We're gonna have to take care of some housekeeping, y'all. If look, people, one of the reasons why last time when I was doing the live stream, the reason why I used to cut the podcast off is because people are not engaged. Okay, look, I know sometimes you guys are cleaning the house, you're cooking dinner, you're doing whatever it is you do. I have no problem with that. I don't expect you to stop your life for my podcast. My podcast ain't that important. But what I will say is that if that's not what you're doing, you need to be engaged. Everybody that's watching outside of subscription, outside of being a subscriber, hit the like button. Everybody who is in the chat room and watching and you're a subscriber, hit the like button. Now, if we can't get proper engagement, then I'm just gonna shut it down and do something else. Because again, I don't like taking that kind of attitude. But black folks, for some reason, black people need their ass kicked every now and then. Grown ass black men and women need their asses kicked because of being disrespectful. Okay? Somebody's trying to teach you something and you're just being disrespectful. You mean to tell me that you can't type a couple of words in the chat room? So if you guys are not engaging with me, that's, the people on Facebook and the people on YouTube. If you're not engaging and typing and asking some questions or posing questions to every other people in the chat room, then we're going to shut this thing down. I thought about this all weekend. I said to myself, man, I haven't even been back on the air a month and cats are already going back to their old ways of bullshit. Okay? I sit up here and do research to make sure I know what I'm talking about on these live streams, and we still got Negroes who just can't help themselves. You can't help yourself. And this is why you got to go out and vote for Democrats, because you're so self-hating and you have such a problem with corresponding with groups of black people because of how you feel about yourself. Like I was listening to some immigrant who was running, who was on, I forgot what platform this was. This is on somebody's Twitter platform. And this fool was on there talking about how black, he was talking about how, some old African dude talking about how American blacks clowned him. And as usual, nobody gave him any sympathy. Why should they? Okay? Why should they? Why should they? You ain't talking about nothing. You ain't talking about nothing. You ain't doing nothing. Don't expect people to just give you something. That's why this is one of the reasons why cats have to vote for the Democrats, because these are the Negroes that hate being black. These are the niggas that got teased and couldn't, they didn't have a comeback. When you look, when I grew up, I always had a comeback. Not every time, but most of the time. I had a comeback. I didn't stand up there and let people talk about me. Okay? We didn't do that. You talk about my mama, I'm gonna talk about your mama. I ain't gonna get up and fight you over it. But it was called the dozens, playing the dozens, which comes from slavery, when the slave auctioneers would put 12 or more broken down slaves on the auction block that equal only maybe one or two good slaves. Okay, maybe it was old slaves, children who were too young to really actually do anything, and uh, and women that weren't healthy, that couldn't breed. Maybe they had a problem breeding children, which back then, them days, usually equaled a death sentence. Okay, complications from a pregnancy and a childbirth. Okay, well, Elijah Justice, good to see you, brother. This segs right into what we're talking about tonight. Is Stacy J.J. Abrams, another Trojan horse Democratic candidate, just like Obama and Vice President Copmala Harris? Is she the same kind of filth? Blackface, overweight, mammy that makes white folks feel comfortable. Okay? Mr. Binion, what's happening? I ain't seen you in a minute. Well, brother, that's an excellent question. Now, let me read my brother's question. What do you think will be the results of the 2022 midterms? I believe the economy will fall apart after this election. Let me tackle that in two parts. Let me answer your question first. I believe that it's not going to be a landslide by the Republicans. I think they're going to get enough seats to get a majority, but it ain't going to be a whole lot. And that's in the House. In the Senate, I think it's going to be a nail biter. Okay, it's going to be a nail biter. Now, well, where's Brown Sausage at? Brown Sausage might be at work. Hey, Brown Sausage, if you in here, man, holler at a player. I was listening to my frat brother, Dr. Wilmer Leon, on Sirius XM 126 on Saturday. And Saturday, they were talking about the election. And the bad part about that is I didn't catch the show from the beginning, because I didn't leave the house until about probably about 11 o'clock, 10:45, 11 o'clock. So if I would have got my ass up about 8 or 9 or 10 and got in the car, I could have heard the whole show. But that's on me. Although I could just go ahead and go to xm.com, SiriusXM.com, and listen to on demand shows that are already been posted. Anyway, I'm listening to Wilma Leon, and I don't know if these guys were agents that were calling in, but these idiots, it is at least 2 or 3 old niggas from Georgia that called in. And these Negroes called in. One I caught the tail end of what he was talking about. So I'm gonna talk about the second guy. The second guy called in, and this was a typical old nigga who was a Democratic voter till he died. This nigga got on the air. He was talking about Dr. Leon. I feel that those polls ain't accurate because they don't take into account black people don't participate in them polls. To a certain degree, they don't. Are those polls ghetto gospel? No. But they do give you an idea of how these people are thinking politically. And to really be honest, I could care less if black folks are participating in these polls, because the people that really count is the white folk who vote or don't vote. You see what I'm saying? Because see, black folks, you can't count it. See, black folks, you can't really believe nothing they say and really take them seriously, because look who they voted in for district attorney of Fulton County in Georgia, in Atlanta. They voted in a mammy who is popular amongst police unions and the Georgia Association of Police Chiefs. Does that sound like a black person that you want in office as your DA? Huh? Now the brother that was in there, that was putting them race soldiers posing as police officers on trial for killing innocent black people, y'all didn't even go out and vote for him. You talking about all this vote shit. Oh man, y'all got to go out and vote. We got to vote. Our lives depend on it. And you didn't even take your ass out there and vote. So all the weak, shiftless, buck dancing, bojangling, Democratic vote Negroes in Fulton County voted this woman in the office. Because see, these are the Negroes that these are plantation Negroes. These Negroes do not want to be, they don't want to be empowered. They want clout. They want a pat on the head, but they don't want to be empowered. What did I say last week? What's the difference between empowered and power? Okay? Power is when you give, it's like what Bill Cosby had. Bill Cosby is worth $400 million. And yet they still put his ass in prison for some shit he didn't even do for 2.5 years or beyond. That's power. Power is something these folks can take away from you. Empower means all of us, or the majority of us, are on code, and we are not going to let these white supremacists push us backwards, and they're going to get out of our way when we start pushing forward. That's being empowered, because you can't lock up all of us. You can't shoot all of us in the back 60 times. Because one of them brothers going to be strapped, and they're going to start dumping. Oh, you shoot niggas willy-nilly? Oh, let me shoot back. Because now it's on. Those Negroes didn't even go out there and vote for that brother. That was the district attorney. Now they got Bonnie Willis's ass in there, Mammy Willis, And now she just locking up niggas right and left. These niggas, Negroes got the nerve to get on social media talking about we need to vote. You didn't even vote. When it was the time to vote, you didn't even show up. So don't tell somebody else who they need to vote for. And just like I keep telling you guys, you don't vote for somebody or candidate you didn't put up there. And when I mean you, I'm talking about us collectively. If we didn't put this person up here as a Democrat or a Republican, then why are we voting for either one of them? Y'all get where I'm going with this? See, this is how you shut these church Democratic voting Negroes down. Because see, they really ain't got no comeback. That's why they so quiet when it comes to Joe Biden right now. They ain't saying nothing. I mean, these are the type of niggas that'll go buy kente cloth and take their family to go see Black Panther. Like that's going going to see Black Panther is gonna solve black people's socioeconomic problems. Because see, that's plantation nigga stuff. Okay? Let me explain something to you. The last 2 years, let me answer what my man Jeremy Binion said. The second, he made a statement. He didn't answer a question. He made a statement. So let me see if I can you know what? Let me turn this air conditioner on, man. Damn, I'm starting to sweat now. Y'all hold on for a second. I'll be right back. Right now, baby. Okay. Yep. Okay, y'all. Let's get back to work. Okay, let's get into it. Let's get it on, y'all. So, exactly, Elijah Justice. See, here's what you know why a lot of cats hate me, especially people on my Facebook page. You know why a lot of these Negroes hate me? Because I'm putting them in a position, I'm calling their ass out. You know, you see, I don't want to hear nobody complaining about white supremacy and racism in America if you're not part of the grassroots. And what I mean by grassroots, you support black businesses. You ain't buying into this black women versus black men bullshit. Okay? That's a program that has been instituted just like COINTELPRO 50 years ago by the CIA and FBI. Or should I say the Department of Justice, the Department of Injustice. This so-called, let's hook the sister, let's uplift black women socioeconomically and flatline black men. This stuff can stop right today. We could have stopped that this weekend. If we all are on code, and here's what we mean by on code, because a lot of people think we're talking about sticking together. I don't want to hear nothing about black folks sticking together. Nobody sticks together except for maybe immediate family members. You can't expect people who don't know you to stick with you. But what you can expect is if you in a grocery store, if you a black woman and you in a grocery store and some white manager or white security guards putting their hands on you for no reason because you ain't kissing their ass or you standing up for yourself, a black man at another counter who's getting waited on at another register, when he turns around and sees this going on, he immediately gets on cold and goes over there and handle business. That's what being on cold is about. I should be, we gotta see one thing. I was talking to somebody last week about, the Twin Cities. The longer I stay here, the more disgusted I am with these niggas up here. And I don't mince words. I don't shuck and jive. I tell you exactly what I think of black people up here in the Twin City area. Okay. And yeah, probably got some family watching too. I don't give a shit what you think. But these Negroes up here, all they care about is getting a white. It's black men. All black men care about up here is getting with a white woman and being there, sit on their ass and not do nothing, and go out every now and then and get drunk, get high, go to a restaurant or two, and then the rest of the time sitting at home, sitting around drinking. That's all niggas want. That's all black men want to do up here. That's why whenever I meet new black men and I start talking some real deal Holyfield, and I'm not talking about chasing white women, oh, they like, hey man, I'm gonna have to go, brother, but it was good meat. But if I was talking about, hey, let's go out there and run these Beckys, oh, they'd be like, hey, man, here's my number. Let's go out, man. Let's go let's get at these hoes. See, we look, people, let me say this to you. I wish this was a time when black folks can play around. I wish it was. I wish it was, but it's not. Okay? Black women up here in the Twin Cities, most of them, all they want to do is get pat on the head by the white power brokers up here. And some of them want to get a white man so they kid can have good hair. Good hair. Okay? A lot of these black women, all they do is come up here from Chicago, Indianapolis, Milwaukee, Racine, and most of them all they do is come up here, get on welfare, get on Section 8, because they know it's easy to do up here. It's easy to get on welfare up here if you're a woman. Okay? It's easy. It's easy for them to come up here and get on welfare. So it's easy for Democrats like Senator Klobuchar to do absolutely nothing and still get black folks to vote on her. And she has the nerve to try to bring up her prosecutor. See, she was the prosecutor before Mike Freeman, the guy that prosecuted Muhammad Nawar. Okay, Mike Freeman is a recent district attorney that got elected. Amy Klobuchar used to be our Hennepin County district attorney. And let me tell you something. She wasn't shit. She wasn't shit as a prosecutor. She did the same thing Mike Freeman been doing, locking up black men and not locking up nobody else. You hear me? So I could care less what niggas up here think. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care what you think. Because you're dangerous to the rest of us. These Negroes are dangerous, man. See, people like to write me off as somebody who's just ranting and raving because they don't like what I got to say. But let's get to Stacy J.J. Abrams. Now, let's read some fun facts about Miss Mammy. Let's read some info on Aunt Jemima. The background on Stacey Abrams. Stacey Abrams used to be a state representative for 10 years, 8 or 9, 10 years. Was a do-nothing Democrat there. Okay. Then she tried to run for governor and got her ass kicked last time. And here's the finessing that Stacey Abrams and her little nonprofits are up to behind the scenes. They're sitting up here registering all these old broken down black people to vote. That's how the race. That's why the race was as close as it was last time with Brian Kemp. Okay, because they got all these civil rights fossils, all these black church fossils, all these old black Democratic voter fossils, and they was driving them to the polls. Now, do you know Stacey Abrams said the reason why she didn't beat Brian Kemp last time was because of voter suppression? Nobody suppressed. See, guys, the Democratic Republican Party are equally full of shit. The Republicans say, okay, well, we want people who vote to have an ID. Okay, that's their way of messing with the election. Democrats, their way of messing with the election is if they don't get what they want and blaming black men ain't gonna work, then they turn to voter suppression. If you listen to Roland Martin's bowling ball head ass, you hear him on there talking about voter suppression, voter suppression, voter suppression, voter suppression. That's all he talks about. And the question has to be, how is you having an ID card at the voting poll proving that you are who you say you are? How is that voter suppression? Somebody explain that to me. How I can't believe that all this time they have not been asking for IDs when people come down there to vote. How is that voter suppression? You're supposed to have an ID, state ID card or driver's license. This is how black candidates who know that they don't have a snowball's chance in hell. This is what they turn to instead of blaming their policies, blaming their ideologies. When you sit up here and have a black face, but everything come out your mouth is LGBT, which means white. Everything you always talking about illegal. You talking about we need to fix the broken immigration system. The immigration system ain't broken. It's just that they don't enforce the laws that are already on the books. Thirdly, they will blame black men. I was reading an article today on Stacey Abrams, and I don't know how many this was a Bloomberg article, so they can't say that this is some Russian bots or this is some off-color rag that we're talking about. We're talking about a multi-billion-dollar media company, and on Bloomberg.com, it said that Stacey Abrams has a major uphill battle if black men don't show up, which is why she's creating these phony CGI edited commercials where it looks like she's talking to black men and she's in the same room with black men, but she isn't. Those of you in Georgia know what I'm talking about. Stacey Abrams hates black men. And let me say another thing. Stacey Abrams is a lesbian. Now you notice because apparently they don't scrub the internet. I've looked all over the internet to find some website that said, okay, she's a lesbian. I knew about her being a lesbian by the last time she ran for governor. Black people, black LGBT individuals hate black men. And they hate straight black women. That's why they try to cling to white LGBT people, because they think that them, having sexual relations, well, it really ain't sex. Them having deviant relations with the same sex makes them white, or makes them something other than regular foundational black Americans. Okay? They purposely have not revealed what her dating status. Now, some of you will say, some of you bootlicks, some of you guys will say, well, Ice, what that got to do? What is her sexual orientation, or her sexual preference is? What's that got to do with her politics? It has everything to do with her politics, because every black politician that has been LGBT, with the exception of Marcel, that ran against Jim Bojangles Clyburn down there in South Carolina, with the exception of Marcel, the rest of these LGBT Negroes are full of shit. And I would never listen to anything they got to say, because when you start looking at because somebody told me, Ice, go look at Stacey Abrams' Facebook page. Ain't nothing on there but it's talking about what we should give illegal aliens, LGBT rights. Again, when you hear them say LGBT rights, that means white. You got to learn these acronyms, what they really mean. That means white homos. Okay? Doesn't include your black ass. And every time I've seen like I said, with the exception of Marcel out there in South Carolina, our brother out there, these so-called LGBT, these out in the open, out of the closet black LGBT politicians. Look at Lori Lightfoot. Those dummies, those of you dummies that voted for her in Chi-Town. What is she doing for black folks in Chicago? And she's LGBT. That she's a perfect example of why you don't put them Negroes in office, because they're not there for you. And look at who she's with. Her significant other is a Caucasian female. Where do you think? Let me ask black folks in the chat room. Where do you think her loyalties lie? And she got a Caucasian woman as a boo thing, huh? Where do you think her loyalties lie? You're a fool if you think Lori Lightfoot is a good politician. You're also a fool if you think Lori Lightfoot is of the business of helping black Chicagoans. Look, I'm gonna say this one more time, guys. If you're not engaging in the chat room, I'm just gonna go ahead and shut this mug off. Also, and this is another reason why I used to talk about donations all the time. You notice I haven't said anything about donations. The reason why I did it the last time that's the second reason why I do, and there's the second reason why I do that compared to my first reason, which is people are not engaging. The reason why I ask for donations, and if nobody donates, I shut the podcast down, because it's not fair to the people who do donate and don't ask for anything in return. Okay? This is why I ask people to donate, and if people don't donate, I shut the podcast down, because you're not engaged. I don't need the money. I do it to be irritated. Okay? I do it to be irritated, because you're either gonna tune out and go do something else, or you're gonna sit there and tolerate me talking crazy to you about donating. So here's what we're gonna do. If you have not hit the like button, hit the like button. If you have not shared this video with people on your social media platforms, we have a problem. Damon, you're engaged. Ain't nobody else engaged. Okay? So the people who are engaged, they have to suffer because you ain't shit. Some people will post one thing in the chat room, and I don't hear nothing from them for the rest of the podcast. So I'm gonna say it one more time, and I'm gonna give you a minute to let this sink in. Y'all need to start donating. Okay? The Cash App ID is $ capital M Moorish capital OG. MoorishOG. It's in the chat room right there for you. Okay? If you say you can't see it, we know you're lying. So folks need to start donating, and folks need to start being engaged. I'm gonna take a quick break. If I don't see people donating, if I don't see people engaging, we're shutting this mug down. All right? Okay. I'm glad you understand.
Oh, shit. Because they ain't doing it by themselves. Competition. They ain't getting no money from the most. They ain't got no money in the bank. touched on that. Our people are suffering. And we got Negroes running for office talking about we need to secure LGBT rights. You know, that's a goal. That's a goal for white. Okay? Instead of referring to white folks as, okay, these are white men. That's a black man. Liberals, these are great men. So, you know, people over here. And third group of white folks, LGBT. That's all language to the white LGBT community doesn't vote with, who don't even vote. Okay, most LGBT people don't decide any of the elections. They talk. You got black candidates running for office talking about even we need to fix the immigration system. What does that have to do with black Americans? We don't give a shit. Matter of fact, we don't even want these people over here. Because we know the more they come over here, the more they don't start putting more black men in prison. Every time the immigration goes up, black men go in prison go up. And young men black on it go up. And these are the Negroes you vote for. Well, they black, so what?
Hold up, man. Hold up. I'll be right back. These niggas, man. What's up, Raquel? So I'm listening to Dr. Wilma Leon, my frat brother's show on Saturday, and I hear this coon Sambo Negro talking about, we need to support our sister. You know, Stacy Abrams, we need to support our sister. You got black folks talking about, running around here talking about black men don't want to vote for her. Yeah, Bloomberg.com said it, and a whole lot of New York Times said it too. Washington Post said it too. All these newspapers can't be wrong. All these media outlets can't be wrong. They said black candidates have a black male voter problem. And that's because black men are not going to sit up here and vote for somebody who ain't going to do nothing for them. We steadily going to prison because of white supremacy. We steadily being excluded from the vast wealth of American banks. When we come into American banks asking for a loan, we get turned down almost every time. Yet, when black men go to that, which is why a lot of cats go to the neighborhood alligator like drug dealers to borrow money, because they go to the legitimate, so-called legitimate banks, and these crackers won't even loan them any money. Does that make sense to you? One United Bank is so-called black-owned. It's the so-called biggest black-owned bank in America, yet they only got $777 million under management. That's fly shit on when it comes to a nationwide bank. That's fly shit. They talking about, and the CEO always keeps talking this bullshit, talking about, well, you should just deposit some money in our bank just for the hell of it. No, I ain't depositing. I'd rather deposit my money in Wells Fargo, who does absolutely nothing for black folks, than to sit up here and deposit that same amount of money in a so-called black-owned bank, and 80% of your commercial and personal loans are to Caucasian people and Caucasian-owned businesses. You ain't my neighborhood bank. And having 5 and 6 locations around the whole goddamn country don't encourage me to want to do business with you anyway. Black banks will never be about anything in America, because just like black politicians, they always talking about helping somebody else other than us. Talking about come over here and do business with us. Why? Your computer system is ancient. You got tellers who are assholes. I remember I had my money in a black-owned bank. I took my money out of there so fast. They'd even have a computerized system where you can, where you didn't need to have a thing that a passport. It looks like a passport. They still putting this thing under a printer and printing on it like they did back in the early 80s and late 70s. Stacey Abrams ain't our sister. Stacey Abrams ain't a sister. And there's a reason why they don't talk. Why? I mean, every time. I mean, this woman is always in the media with her mammy ass, cheesing and grinning with her fat ass. And they try not to make the mistake, because they know if they tell everybody she's a lesbian, they know that them church Negroes ain't gonna vote for her. You see how they trying to run that? Because every website I went to said she's not dating anybody. Now you know damn good and well everybody needs somebody. Who's her somebody? I guarantee it's some white woman, some hidden somewhere. Somebody gonna expose her ass, and I hope it's soon. Hey guys, I don't see nobody donating. I'll wait till you get on. I'll wait till you get on cold. I'll wait till y'all wake up from your slumber. Like I said, it's almost like I've been on here an hour, and I haven't even gotten to the meat of what I'm going to be talking about tonight. Like I said, the Major League Baseball playoffs are on. I could be watching. I could turn on the surround sound, be watching that instead of sitting up there dealing with you niggas. Do you understand me? Because I've had people come to me and say, Ice, how can you always be chastising Negro? I said, man, if you see what these niggas be doing or not doing, you be chastising them too. And then when they come on my platform and see what I'm talking about, they say, like, man, I see what you talking about, man. I said, black people ain't shit. But I bet you if you saw me on Fox News or you saw me on CNN, I'd have 100,000 subscribers in not even in an hour. Because niggas love celebrities, which is why we are the poorest people in this country. We the most disenfranchised, socioeconomically disenfranchised people in this country. And you still don't want to do nothing. Yet most of y'all are going to end up on the street. There are people in the chat room right now who are going to end up on the street in the next year or two. I've had guys contact me and say, Ice, I used to giggle and laugh when you used to say stuff like that. Now it ain't funny because I lost my job and I'm sleeping in my car right now. They said, man, you a prophet, brother. You be prophesizing on people. See, the reason why we keep having the Ilhan Omars and the Stacy Abrams and the Benny Thompsons and the Jim Buck Dancing, Bojangling Clyburn, the reason why these do nothing Negroes, these do nothing Democrats and retreads like Joe Biden, the reason why these people keep getting in office and they keep getting their careers revived is because of Negroes who you are just as equally shiftless as these people are as politicians. Don't say nothing when don't say nothing when karma comes to knock on your door and your little warehouse job ends up being taken away from you and given to Sancho and Maria and them. We'll see what you got to say then. Because it's coming. Black men, let me tell you something. Did y'all peep what was going on out there in LA? You had 3 racially prejudiced ass Mexicans out there. It was LA City Council people who were openly calling black people chinguitos, which means little monkey, or calling us mayates and niggers in Spanish. And somebody in their offices taped the whole conversation and put it online. And I think one of them, the ugly ass Mexican female, she resigned today. I don't know about the other 2 Mexican dudes, but I know the female resigned. Okay. And do you know that this woman used to intern with a black city councilman? She took his seat. This black guy named Herb Wesson. Herb Wesson is one of these niggas that my dad used to vote for. Herb Wesson is one of these do nothing Democrat Negroes who only got in office because of him being black. Okay? And because he didn't do anything when he was in there. Look at South Central LA. It's been overrun with illegals. South Central LA look like Beirut now. It used to be back in the 80s, man. LA was party city. It was about partying in LA. You got off work and you shook your ass and hollered at the honeys. You go to LA now, man. Ain't nobody in no good mood. All you hear about every time I go to Los Angeles and I get a hotel, the only thing they keep talking about on the news is niggas killing each other. That's all you see. Yet I got all these frat brothers, all these so-called college-educated Negroes. You know, I don't know if this is the case, but I think Karen Bass is she's a congresswoman, black congresswoman. I think she's supposed to be running against this billionaire real estate developer who's a Republican for LA City mayor. Now, when Karen Bass, I think she got eliminated in the primary. I'm not sure. but they said that 98%, they said 95% of black women in Los Angeles voted for Karen Bass during that primary. Guess how many black men voted for her? 40%. And these people think black men are playing when they talk about not supporting these do-nothing black Democrats. Okay? Do you know this, you know, Stacey Abrams is real cocky. I saw her on TV the other day talking about, black men, if you don't vote for me, I don't win. Exactly. That's why we ain't gonna vote for you. Because we want to make sure you lose. Because black people, let me tell you, see, this is how you shut up these church niggas, these Democratic voting niggas. Here's how you shut them down. When they stood up there and talk about how come you won't support Stacy J.J. Abrams, you tell them this. Well, what am I going to get out of it? Oh, yeah, she's black. She needs your help. Don't matter what it is for the good of the group. What is the group getting if she wins office? Let me explain something to you. Those of you Negroes who live in Georgia, how much worse off are you going to be if Brian Kemp gets reelected? What do you think is going to help you? What do you think is going to happen if Stacey J.J. Abrams becomes the governor of the great state of Georgia? She's going to help everybody but you. Remember, the only reason why Stacey Abrams is so cocky is because the Democratic white power structure has put a battery in her back, and they are pumping millions of dollars into her campaign. You lose with Stacey Abrams, and you lose with Brian Kemp. So you might as well leave the already vetted white supremacist in office. He's the devil you know. She's the devil you don't know. This is why white people who voted for Obama voted for Trump, because Obama thought he was going to run game like he ran game on black voters. He thought he was going to run game on them white Democratic voters, and they overwhelmingly voted for Trump both times. Everybody knows Joe Biden's election was finessed. We're not saying that he didn't. I'm not saying he didn't win. I'm saying it was a finesse, which means we don't know exactly what the Democrats did to get this man in office, because we know damn good and well most white folks and black folks can't stand Joe Biden. So where did all these votes come from? Okay, at least the Republicans will keep them illegal aliens off your ass, because I'm gonna tell you right now, they are flooding into the state of Georgia. And you know what else I read on Bloomberg.com? It said that 1 in 5 black men voted for Trump in 2020 compared to 2016. Did y'all know that? They said that there's an overwhelming amount of black men and even black women who are turning to the Republican Party because, at least, like my brother said, will to change. At least they be on them illegal aliens' asses. That's one of the reasons I moved out of Atlanta, is because all them illegal aliens they pump up in there. And you know what? Black folks still end up voting for them Democrats, even though they bring all them illegals in there to work in them factories. Atlanta has a lot of factories. And let me tell you something, the unemployment rate amongst black men in Atlanta is astronomical. Yet these are the same Negroes who are going to march down there to that booth and vote for Stacey Abrams just because she's black. I'm voting for the agenda, not the person. Because if it's a Democrat or Republican that supports my personal agenda, my economic agenda, I'm vote for that Republican or that Democrat. I don't give a damn who it is. Because this is not a popularity contest to me like it is most of these church Negroes, most of these Democratic voting Negroes. It's a popularity contest to them. They don't vote because they're trying to be empowered. They are voting because it's like going to the club. It's like going to church. It's just like saying that you're a member of so-and-so's church. You hear these old weak ass lame church niggas. They all, hey, what church you go to? I remember when I first moved to Atlanta, cats used to ask, man, where you live at? I'm like, man, I'm out there north of, I'm in Paulding County. I ain't in Fulton County. Oh, why you way up there, way out there? Because my children are out there. That's why. But I hated Atlanta. And it wasn't the geography that I hated. It was the people. You had all these black men sashaying and switching and carrying on, getting on and off the train. I'm getting on the train to go to the VA, and here's some fat ass nigga look like Faison Love with a pink mohawk, with some tight ass jeans on, wearing some 2 or 3 inch heels. And I looked at this. I'm on the platform waiting for the train, right? I look at this nigga and I go, look. I looked at that nigga and shook my head, and all the black women that were standing up, they looked at me and started laughing because they knew what I was saying. My nonverbal behavior said it all. And that nigga walked on he stayed way in the back after he saw people were laughing at his ass. Is that, you want more of that? Is that what you want, black man? You can be a homosexual, but you can't be an employed, middle class, socioeconomic class contributor to this economy. They keep you unemployed, and then they bring all these other people in here. They bring the Indians in here to do IT work and computer work on HB1B visas. Exactly. And they're against Second Amendment rights. They're up here sitting up here talking about, they up here checking people's social media before they sell you a gun. What kind of shit is that? What is your social media or my social media got to do with me buying a gun if I pass the background check? They're up here talking about we need more extensive background check. You mean a nationwide background check through your local police department and the ATF ain't enough? Is that what you telling us, Negroes? I don't feel sorry for black folks who vote for these people and don't get what they want and end up ass out. You vote for a black person being a Christian and vote for Democrats is just as dumb as black people joining the Klan or trying to join the Klan. You have to take these Negroes for who they are. They mean us economic, political, and social harm. Black folks, I know you don't want to think like that because a lot of you Negroes are scary. You're cowardly. Any threat to your little cowardice, your little insecurity, you run your ass to the polls. It's just like I had a professor one time said that. Have you guys noticed that every time we have an economic downturn, a whole bunch of women go enroll in college? Did y'all know that? College college enrollment goes through the roof every time we have an economic downturn, like what happened in 07 and through 09. A whole bunch of women went back to school. For what? Because that's a security blanket for them, even though they ain't getting nothing but a bachelor's degree or a master's degree in women's studies or Africana studies or sociology or women love psychology. And then wonder why they end up in a job that pay $32,000 a year in 2022. Can't even make enough money to buy a house. What's up, 504? Looking for more engagement, y'all. Either start engaging or folks need to start donating. Like I said, I don't like doing this, but when you play me for stupid, that's what happens. I'm going to start being an a-hole, and I don't like being one. But I'm not going to sit here for an hour and a half, 2 hours trying to game you up and y'all sitting up here playing. Grown-ass men and women playing. Now, you see them people down there in Florida and on the East Coast, Eastern Seaboard that got their ass kicked by that hurricane? Do they look like they in a playing mood? But some of y'all niggas will be out there playing because you don't take anything seriously, and that's why your life ain't shit. The police can drive by, white folks can drive by and spray all y'all niggas because you're sitting on the corner like sitting ducks. Just waiting for the police to harass your ass. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying, if you were in the house, you wouldn't be getting fucked with. Now, would you? Stacey Abrams is a Trojan horse, people, just like Obama was and just like Copmala Harris is. The so-called VP, the powerless VP. The vice presidency is no more than a cheerleader position. That's all it is. And you know what Biden's doing? He's setting Kamala Harris up to take all the blame from him not doing what he's supposed to do as a president to his base, which is black people. He's going to let her take the fall for all that shit. He's already letting her take the fall for the border situation. Talking about the border is out of control. The border ain't out of control. They want those people to come over here. Why you think they flooding over the damn Rio Grande to bring their dirty asses over here? Because they heard they can get free shit over here. They can get a free hotel. They getting put up in Hilton's and Hampton Inns, and you can't even afford to stay in neither one of them hotels. But yet you gonna go vote for that Democrat, ain't you? They treating them folks better than they treating your ass. Just like during World War II, they brought German POWs over here and was serving them steak. Had them living fly while black GIs was sitting up here living in separate barracks, getting the worst food. And you gonna go vote for these Democrats? They treating you like they treated them black GIs during World War II. They treated them racist ass Germans better than they treated us. And because you're a fearful coward who's off code, you would rather go over there and continue to keep voting for no good, do nothing Democrats like Ilhan Omar and Stacey Abrams and Joe Biden. Like up here, they up here running ads. I don't know. They seem like these ads are these just ongoing all day about this abortion shit. They talking about abortion is at the top of the list of issues with black people. Huh? Black people don't give a fuck about no abortions? Who are you talking to? You know they making this stuff up. You know damn good and well black folks don't give a damn about no abortion, illegal immigration, and any of this other and LGBTQ rights. Talking about those are the three biggest issues on black folks' mind today. Not the economy, not inflation, not the fact that black women are getting evicted at a rate of one out of every three black women who are single moms living in apartments are being evicted. Because they've been running their mouths, talking shit to the landlord. And then when them moratoriums ran out, see how women get a hookup? Women talk a lot of shit about women's rights and all this old bullshit. The only reason why women have anything in this country is because a man decided, okay, here, shut the fuck up. Here, take this shit and take your ass over there. What civilization has women built on this planet? None. Because women ain't equipped to build civilization. But these simp ass Caucasian males who run things, they getting punked out at home, so they go ahead and give these Caucasian women what they want. These feminist, these white feminist females, they give them what they want, which is shared control over our black asses. That's what feminism is really about. Who is going to share the ownership and control of the niggers and this nation's resources? You're right, Elijah Justice, the Jezebel spirit. Because see, the reason why you got a lot of Jezebel black women out here in America who are single moms and got a bunch of kids by different men, you know why we have all these whorish black women? Because these women have adopted a white female mentality. That's why they have no problem getting their baby daddy put in jail. Okay? Yet she's benefiting off the dope he's selling. Do you know they having hot girl walks all over the country? Have you seen this shit? Instead of having slut walks, they having these so-called hot girl walks. And you should see some of the women. Ain't nothing hot about them. It's a bunch of ugly ass, out of shape, flabby, skinny, fat, Caucasian and non-Caucasian women who can't get a man and who half of them are lesbian. See, getting a bachelor's degree in psychology is a waste of time because you don't learn anything. You don't start learning anything until you go to grad school with, masters and then PhD program. Just like the program I went through with social work, but with a psychotherapy emphasis. You think I would have got that education on the bachelor level? No. You can't get into all them theories and all that kind of stuff at the bachelor degree level. All they're gonna do is stick a multiple choice test in your face. My degrees are a waste of time in the traditional sense. My 3 degrees are valuable to me here because all that stuff I learned, I can apply to this. Whereas with a job, all they go, you know, I got hired on jobs that didn't have nothing to do with my MBA. Okay? I didn't get that job because I had an MBA. I got that job because I was qualified. Most of the women who are whining about, most of the people who are whining about their student loans and that fact that their degree ain't affording them the lifestyle that they thought they were going to get, but yet they so damn evil and nasty and funky acting, they don't nobody want to marry most of these hoes. Like I signed up, and you know, this is my bad. That's on me. You know, I went on, you know, I kept getting these notifications on Facebook dating. So I said, let me see what this raggedy ass shit is about. So, you know, it asks you, do you want your Facebook, you know, profile as your profile for Facebook dating? I said, yeah, why not? So that shit is worse than POF. That shit is worse than Tinder. All you got is a bunch of ugly, over the hill, mainly Caucasian and Hispanic and Native, so-called Native American women, $5 Indians. That's all that's on, and ugly, fat, greasy looking black women. A bunch of FBIs, fat, black, and impossible. AOC is a joke. AOC would never be anything but a bootleg congresswoman. You got to understand, people, a lot of folks like the rhetoric coming from Ilhan Omar and AOC. They like that shit, even though they don't do anything. Women like that kind of foolishness. They like shit talking women, like Elizabeth Warren's ugly ass. Don't do nothing, though, but, well, she's tough. She's a bad bitch. You ain't no bad bitch. First of all, I wouldn't even be calling myself no bad bitch. But if you call them a bad bitch, they'll be taking you to HR. See how that work? Those programs exist, Elijah, to put money in the coffers of the university. These universities have been pulling this shit for years, creating degree plans that cater to the egos of females. And then these women graduate and they can't find a job other than in health and human services for the federal government. I mean, not even the federal government, for the state, where they only making $35,000 a year top pay. See, nursing and math and all those, that's considered STEM. Nursing is considered science, just like medicine is. Everybody ain't smart enough to be a nurse. Okay? See, people, let me tell you something. You know, I'm going to go take another break. But let me tell y'all something. Playtime been over. I'm going to say this every time I do a live stream. Playtime been over, people. If you think that white supremacy won't touch you, I feel sorry for you. Matter of fact, I ain't going to waste my time feeling sorry for your ass. Because whatever happens to you, you deserve it. Because you're hard-headed, and you know what they say about a hard head. A hard head make a soft ass. And a sore ass. And see, you ought to be smart enough to look at your mammy and see how she done been losing out here since high school. Okay, your mama was the one that was up behind in the bleachers smoking cigarettes with all the cool kids while all the rest of us was going to class trying to get our high school diploma. This is the person that ended up going to continuation school because they got pregnant, or just straight up dropping out of high school. And see, a lot of you guys, you don't have a problem. You don't have a problem being, you don't have a problem with being around big mouth, useless women, because that's what your grandmother does. That's what your auntie does. That's what your mama does. She sit around running their mouth, talking shit, talking about black men ain't shit, when it's them that ain't shit. And so you get on here thinking it's playtime. Oh man, this nigga Iceman, old nigga, you just talking shit. No, I ain't talking shit. I'm kicking facts. That's why the name of this podcast is Facts Over Feelings. We don't care. I don't care about your feelings. If you don't like my live stream, unsub. If you don't like my live stream on Facebook, unsub and go somewhere else where you can be coddled and patted on the head and told you a good Negro. Okay? Take your ass over there. I don't need you. You can unsub me if you want to. I don't care. I ain't making no money whether you sub or unsub. But you know, scary, insecure, cowardly black men and women, that's the approach they take because they know I'm telling the truth. And they don't want to hear it. They want to hear, oh man, Ice, how come you ain't talking about the civil rights? I ain't talking about how great it is to have civil rights. How come you ain't talking about marching? How come you ain't talking about having a sit-in? Nigga, shut up. Your goofy ass. What church you go to? The Church of Real Niggas. That's the Missionary Baptist Real Niggas Church. That's what church I go to. The Church of Real Niggas. The Church of Warriors. Unlike you. You go to the Church of Cowards. Worshiping a white pagan Jesus that never existed. And worshiping in a religion that is a pagan religion. Like I said, you really don't have to look too far to see what black people are full of shit. Whenever I meet black folks and they start talking that church shit, I say, hey man, why should I go to your, well, I do it. I ain't go up in no church praising no white Jesus. Nigga, are you out of your mind? Oh man, oh fret, why you gotta go there? I gotta go there because you a Sambo. That's why I gotta go there. It's a lot of coons, Sambos, and mammies in Atlanta, people. A lot of them. It's a lot of church, scary ass church going old niggas and young niggas that vote Democrat and go to church. Both of them are a waste of time. They are those are two time wasting activities. You might as well leave the Republican in there. At least you know what he's about. You know he ain't gonna do shit. But when you go out here and vote for a black Democrat and they get in there talking about I'm gonna help illegals, ain't said nothing about helping black folks. And you gonna take your black ass down there and vote for this old mammy? Whatever she does to you niggas in Georgia, if she wins, you deserve it. Whatever negative that happens to you, you deserve it. I had a frat brother gonna tell me, man, hey Ice, how can you gonna tell people that vote for Biden they deserve the evil of the evil? I say, yeah, you do. You don't deserve the lesser of two evils. You deserve the worst of the worst for being a turncoat and a traitor. See, black folks think, well, because somebody got a black face, that got a brown face, that means that's a friend of yours. That's even more reason to look suspicious. Let me tell you something. Since Since October of 2010, I've been saying the same goddamn thing. I have never wavered. And that's why my core 100 to 200 subscribers, if any of these new folks go the way of the dinosaur, I don't give a shit. Because anybody that gets turned off somebody telling them something that they need to hear, I don't want you listening to me anyway. Because you are a nuisance. You are a waste of time. You are a waste of space to the rest of us. Look at all these Africans and Caribbean folks that come over here worshiping white people, and then when one of their relatives get murdered by one of these race soldiers out here, then they up and talking about where the American black support. No, we some Makadas, remember? You thought you was different than us because you from Africa. You think you better than us. Don't look like it to me because your loved one is in the ground right now. Just like they do foundational black Americans that get murdered by race soldiers in this country. And you think because you worship a white Jesus that you gonna get spared over us. Nigga, please. Okay? Let's just keep it 100. Black folks don't want to hear. Black folks don't want. I mean, you can look at your relatives and see that. Everybody got that relative that all they do is F up all the time. All they do is screw up. And whenever somebody tries to school them and get them on track, they treat everybody else like the enemy. But the very people that are trying to hurt them or hurting them, they invite them into their home and into their hearts. And that's the insanity that you see from black Democratic voters. They know these white Democrats ain't done shit for us. But they keep voting for them because that's the easy thing to do. It's easy. It's easy to be a coward, people. It's easy to be a sellout. It's easy to be a turncoat nigga. It's easy. It takes work to stand up for yourself. It takes courage to stand up for yourself as a man. It takes courage for you to stand by yourself around all them racist ass white folks cutting their eyes at you, and you standing there saying, look, you ain't gonna treat me like a second or third class citizen. You gonna do right by me or it's gonna be popping up in this bitch. See, we don't have those kind of black folks no more. We got cowards. We got cowards that all they care about is being popular with white supremacists. That's all they care about. All they care about is being popular, getting a pat on the head from white daddy and white mama. They just want recognition from white supremacists. I'm gonna take a break right here, guys. If these donations don't increase, or I see more engagement in the chat room, we're just gonna call it a night. Let me say this to y'all, man. Let me say this to the brothers and sisters who care and who want to have a voice, not as a voter, but as a human being, as a black foundational black American, as a citizen of this country, and being a descendant of our ancestors who built this country with their backs and their ingenuity. Let me talk to you, because the rest of these niggas they don't want to hear nothing that ain't attached to white Jesus and church and voting, blindly voting for Democrats, whether they do anything or not. And 99.9% of the time they do nothing. You have to ask yourself, people, is Joe Biden a strong leader? When you look at Joe Biden, do you get a sense of a strong leader? He was a follower in the Senate. Everything that the late Senator Byrd and Strom Thurmond and a couple other ones that he was buddies with, all he did was parrot everything they did. Okay? Joe Biden has never been a leader. Never. And that's why, and people, let's look at the facts. Let's look at the facts over your feelings. Inflation went up immediately in January after Joe Biden took office. In February, inflation started going up. You don't believe me? Go online and check. Go Google inflation 20 February 2021, and you don't see an uptick in inflation. Gas is is astronomical right now, and OPEC, because they don't like Biden, they're gonna hold back they're only gonna distribute 2 million barrels of oil instead of increasing it by a couple of million gallons, which would make the price go down. See, this is basic macroeconomics. The reason why gas is high today is because OPEC is fucking Biden's ass. And Biden is actually fucking himself, because instead of allowing more oil to come into this country, or for us to not bring oil, import oil, but do you know there are oil platforms in the Gulf of Mexico and off the coast of Alaska that got shut down when Biden got in there? That's what made gas prices go up. We are not using or utilizing our own oil at this time. The reason why oil was low during Trump's presidency was because he gave leases and licenses to even new oil exploration. And people say, well, oil is you hear these dumb niggas parroting what they hear these liberal whites saying. The reason why the environment is the way it is because of crude oil. Let me tell you something. If they stopped importing oil and we stopped drilling for oil, do you know how many products in this country would cease to be made in this country? Clothes, different other types of chemicals, hundreds of chemicals that have nothing to do, that are not oil and not petroleum and not gas, excuse me. Okay? They use oil to make clothes, textiles. They use crude oil to make certain types of plastics and different types of other kinds of materials. They need oil to make resins, lubricants for mechanical parts on machines. What you gonna lubricate them with without oil? Huh? Or the derivative of what's created out of that oil. What you gonna do? Use water? Water rusts on most metal surfaces. And finally, the number one, oil is used in all pharmaceuticals. Did you know that? That's why any threat to the crude oil production or whatever, whenever you see somebody come up with a different type of chemical to use, substituting that for crude oil, they end up disappearing, don't they? They end up dead, don't they? Them oil people don't play, nigga. That's why when you hear the Joe Bidens and all these silly ass white left bleeding heart liberals talk this shit about we need to get off of fossil fuel. Well, you gonna stop making medicine? One of the reasons why there are so many side effects in a lot of these, I'm mainly talking about a lot of these capsules and stuff like that we take. You know why there's always side effects with medications? Because it got crude oil in it. Did CNN tell you that? Did MSNBC tell you? Did CBS, ABC, and NBC tell you that? Crude oil is almost in everything. Crude oil's in making this. Making the plastic that this computer is encased in. Stuff like this. These kind of containers. They use crude oil to make them. And you talking about getting rid of fossil fuels? These Democrats talk ridiculous. What you gonna replace it with? That's why you know these Democrats ain't serious about governing. They not serious. Because anybody with any sense knows that crude oil is a vital chemical in this country. And the least of its use is lubricating your combustion engine and lubricating your brakes and putting gas in your car. It goes well beyond that. But you don't want to believe that because a white man or a white woman didn't tell you that. See, black folks want to pick and choose how they get treated. You can't pick and choose how you get treated when you volunteer to be on the bottom by following Democrats around. You deserve to be a third-class citizen. Black people now, I read an article online. Black people are now third-class citizens behind Hispanics now. Did y'all know that? Thank your black clergy for that. Your ass-kissing, butt-licking black clergy for that. Thank your do-nothing black politicians from the municipal level all the way up to the federal level. Thank them for that. Black people are in third place now. I remember in Los Angeles, LA back in the 80s was Chocolate City. You go to LA now, you don't hardly see any black people, even in South Central. And the ones you do see are all ass out. That's what happens when you let other people pimp your ass. That's what happens when you let all these other people determine your economic policy. You end up last. That's why I keep telling black folks, look for that article that says that black people, the black family will have a net worth of 0 by 2050. Hell, it'll be before then. It's gonna be way before then. But you got these same Negroes telling you, oh man, you ain't gonna vote for Democrat. How you gonna vote for that old red? You know, black folks love to talk that who's a racist and who ain't. Joe Biden done accidentally called black people niggers on the Senate floor. And yet these are the same, this is recently. And these niggas still voted for his ass. He slipped up. I got excerpts of him calling black people niggers on the Senate floor. But these, hey, get rid of the problem. Iceman's the problem. Let me unsub his ass. He's the problem, not Mr. Biden. You think I want to associate with niggas like that? I don't care if I ever talk to any of these niggas again. Because I don't want to be around shiftless, do nothing, scary, cowardly black people who keep doing the same dumbass shit they did in 1870 as they're doing today. Being a plantation-minded Negro, being Stevie from Django. Now you got all these niggas laughing at Stevie from Django, but you are Steve. You are really Stevie from Django. You love massa more than you love your own black ass. And this ain't Farrakhan talk. Hey, y'all, I'm out of here, man. You know, I done said all I need to say tonight. You go to Twitter and Instagram, one handle at the Iceman Show. Go over there right now to Instagram and Twitter and start following me at the Iceman Show so you can get I post a lot of stuff on my IG account that I don't post over here. Okay? So go over there and follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Black folks, it's high time we got our shit together and we stop playing around, because I don't want to get no more emails of black men telling me they homeless, telling me they can't find a job because Sancho and Maria are taking all the jobs. Almost every fast food place around here, you got a bunch of wetbacks working in there. That ain't by accident. And they pulling up in new cars, and they pulling up in better cars than you and me are driving. And yet they ain't even citizens of this country. They probably ain't even got a driver's license. All they care about up here in Minnesota is homo politics and feminism. That's all they care about up here. And that's why that's why now you see a bunch of women over there at the damn VA. You didn't see all them white women working at the VA 20 years ago. This is what happens when you sit back and let other people decide your economic, political, and social fate. And you can blame me for putting it out there. I don't give a shit. It needs to be said. You can go and blame, oh, it's because of your military service, you talking crazy. Oh, you must be on something. I ain't on shit. I'm just sick and tired of being sick and tired. Unlike a lot of us, I don't get a thrill out of driving down the street and seeing black neighborhoods become more and more drug infested, more and more gun violence fested. And we got Democrats running all these damn cities. So apparently voting for Democrats ain't in our best interest. Oh, you a vet? You trying to get El God? Are you trying to get service connection? If you are, email me. Here's my email address, homie. Get at me. I don't charge for helping you get your service connection. Oh, you already 100%. Okay, well we good then. Hey, but if you want to chop it up about veterans issues, come holler at me, email me, but let me know who you are. Let me know what your username is on your subscription, because I ain't gonna know who you are. If you just email me out of the blue, I don't know who you are. So if you tell me, you say, hey man, my username is XYZ, you know, I hollered at you last live stream, I'm gonna know who you are. All right, because I always, like I said, I always try to make time for veterans. All right. All right, y'all stay up. God bless. Remember, you ain't got no friends, black man. The only friends we got are each other. Let's make that work. Okay? Look, brothers and sisters, we're not each other's enemy. Okay? We're not each other's enemy. The enemy is people like Stacy, Abrams, Joe Biden, and Jim Bojangles Clyburn. Those are your enemies. Okay? Holla at your boy.